Good evening from the heart of North Carolina. We are back at the tight bullring of Millbridge Speedway for Kara C's Photography Night. And after last week's rain out, the anticipation is thicker than this Carolina humidity. Folks, the short track layout is set to bring elbows out action, bruised feelings, and maybe even some redemption.
Yeah, Alan, it's been wetter than a frog in a washing machine around here lately. 3 straight days of rain, but tonight the skies are clear and the pits are loaded. These boys are itching to unload a week's worth of frustration on this tiny little track.
Kara C is in the house with the cameras ready, and we're about to make some memories. But first tonight is our return to the short track. Last time we raced on this beautiful 6th mile, Alfredo Hidalgo came home with the win in the All-Star race.
That's right, Alan. Now, you've got to think that was a confidence boost for young Alfredo Hidalgo, and that's a big but, mind you. If we are being honest with ourselves, that was a light field. Yes, he ran a great race, but tonight, he has to beat Robert Showalter, Jimmy Allen Jr., and let's not forget Curtis Markham and Jeremy Murphy. That's a tall order for the Showalter Racing Development driver.
Well, Alfredo is down with Eddie to talk about the last race on the short track configuration. Let's send it down to him.
It's always cool to look back at that win Alfredo Hidalgo had at that All-Star race, and we're back in the short track layout since that last race that you won. That was a really long race. Tonight's a little bit shorter. I know you're excited to get back to this racetrack here tonight. What are your expectations, and what do you think? A little bit different engine package this time.
Expectations are to be hopefully up front this time. Last time I led the whole race, but I didn't have my boss over here beating my back bumper off, so we're good. Sure, looking for a good rebound. Have a lot of bad luck this year, and I just want to get out front and win another one. This is the time to do it.
So how much shit did he give you about last race? I'm sure he saw the footage, and I'm sure you got a stern talking to from the boss.
Oh, not much. Just as simple, oh, you got a brake pedal. And I was like, well, why are you letting off getting off the corner? We got to go. But no, it wasn't too bad. Just fuck you every now and then, but we'll be all right.
That's cool. Alfredo Hidalgo looking for that win here tonight. He's very fast at the short track, so we expect big things.
They're always good to hear from Alfredo Hidalgo. The driver of the number 50 may only have one career win, but what a win it was. The 2024 All-to-Star race right here on this very track. A night where everything clicked.
Yeah, Alan, and while that win is on the books, I got to tell you, I still say that All-Star Field was thinner than a single ply roll of Charmin. We're looking at a full field tonight, and this time it's not just a victory lap with friends.
Well, Barry, let's not forget, he ran consistent last year too. 3 top 3 finishes and 4th in the final point standings. He's quietly built himself into a contender.
Consistent, yeah, but the real headline last race was him wrecking his own boss, Robert Showalter. If that ain't guts, I don't know what is. I'd keep one eye on the track and one eye on the hauler if I were him. He might be on a tighter leash than a pit bull in a steakhouse. Well, let's shift gears to one of his competitors. If you're talking comeback stories in 2025, there's one name we can't ignore, Curtis Markham. The veteran racer is putting together one of the most impressive seasons we've seen in recent memory, and honestly, it's starting to feel like 1996 again.
Yeah, Alan, I'll tell you, Curtis has been around the block. He ran Busch, Truck, Cup, you name it. Back in the day, he drove for Diamond Ridge Racing, had a top 10 finish at Talladega, and was a staple in the Busch Series through the 90s. He's not some local yahoo. This guy has real NASCAR pedigree.
And this season in DNQ, he's been nothing short of clinical, fast, consistent, smart. Just when some thought his days of running up front might be behind him, he's proven otherwise. Top 3 finishes, clean passes, and that same disciplined veteran style that made him such a strong driver back in his NASCAR days.
And you gotta love the fire. He's not just out there doing parade laps. The man still wants to win. You can see it in his racing, elbows up, but not dirty. And tonight, I wouldn't bet against him. Let's send it down to Eddie, who's with the veteran himself, Curtis Markham.
Well, if you want to talk about experience, look no further than Curtis Markham. Curtis, that Darlington race, we saw the experience show up there. Can we see it again here tonight in the short track?
Well, you never know. I ate my Wheaties this morning, so we'll see what happens.
Is it fun stomping a mud hole in some of these younger kids coming out here and just having fun, being able to do that and race with your son Thomas too?
Yeah, I'm just out here to have fun and to race with Thomas. My wife comes out too. We just have a good time and enjoy it. It's something different, gets you out of the house, have fun.
And with the different track layouts, are you noticing that some of these younger kids are completely making mistakes when they enter these corners when they actually have to lift for once?
Yeah, so when you're old, you don't go fast, so that helps you on some of these tracks.
Curtis Markham letting that experience guide his way to good finishes so far this season.
All right, Barry, let's get into some of the technical side of the DNQ karting series. Let's talk about stagger, wheel offset, and wedge.
First up, stagger. That's the difference in circumference between the right rear and left rear tires. More stagger helps the kart rotate through the corner, less makes it tighter, kind of like rolling a solo cup on its side. Now wheel width plays a part too. A wider wheel can stretch the tire more, reducing the stagger, so teams play with that to fine-tune handling. Then you've got wedge. That's how much weight difference you've got diagonally across the kart. Add wedge, you might just free her up, take it out, she gets tighter. This is backwards on karts from our regular NASCAR stock cars. It's all about finding that sweet spot for your driver's style and track condition.
SRI Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier is Robert Showalter with a 11.553. Due to the invert, he'll start back in the field, and that put Andrew Hale, Carson Dollarhide in the front row.
Row number 2, Bobby Showtime and Strange Crowds.
Busch, row 3, Bill Monroe in the 98, and Tyler Deering in the 24.
The Nighttime Nightmare and Coleman, Dollar Menu, Dollarhide in the next row.
Billy Monroe and Jake Owings.
Good to see Jake Owings back. We've got Carl Haig in the 1FL and Chuck Herman.
Troy Halburn and Chris Schumann in the next row.
Chuck. Jay Capella and Matt Murphy, row number 6.
And then Aiden Pauley rounding out the field in our Busch Series race here on the good old, is this the short track layout or Darlington layout?
Short track, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Got
Rubbins
the high
racing,
banks.
baby.
Somebody's going to lose a nose. There's too many karts in this field right now to have the noses stay on these things. Will Monroe is an in-car camera. His nose is already halfway ripped off. We got the Nighttime Nightmare for those who are scared of the dark as an in-car camera as well for tonight. He's starting a little bit further back in the field, and we had Showalter on the pole, and he's starting back there as well. And here we go. Green flag. He'll start from 4th as Dollarhide and Hale run him into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm watching Dollarhide stay out front all night long. When he gets up there in clean air, his setups, his driving style work really well as he ships Hale in turn 3.
Terrorism is alive and well at the front of the field as we've got Showalter trying to make his move to the front.
We had Dollarhide sort of marking his territory there, pissing all over that high line, getting that good run off of 4 down the back straightaway. We've got a hornet's nest for 3rd on back here, 3 or 4 wide. Deering in the, I believe that's in the 24. They're trying to make his way down the inside of the Nighttime Nightmare.
Yeah, and we got another couple around in turn 4. Stay green
Chuck
here
Herb.
because
That's right.
why the hell not? Dollarhide, Bobby Showtime's battle for the lead.
Coleman tickled the high side a little too much there, Jay-Z. Got a little sideways, and that's going to open the door for Deering and the rest of the field. And that's the part that you the risk you take as he just he finishes stepping on it. That high line in 3 and 4, there's a lot of speed up there, but it's a risk that you take as the caution is now out for Dollarhide driving the wrong way on the track. Let's take a look at that again. There's speed up there, but man, it's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, it's especially when it gets real narrow. Maybe you throw your right rear up there and you don't quite have the cross weight set right, and all of a sudden you're just going to loop it around.
Back green under the restart. Carson Dollarhide gets shipped by Tristan Trailer Park Jones. He threw that one way back from the renter section as Campolonia on board with him as they're 3 wide.
Yeah, grab a bulb of garlic. Here we go. We're trying to get to the front. We are so jammed up. My God, the action is everywhere. You can see right now this track is super narrow. Action everywhere. My God, we're 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2. There's no way this is going to work.
Oh, it's like anti-North Wilkesboro out here. There's just one line around the bottom as Dollarhide gets shuffled way back there. Puts his hands up. Looks a little frustrated as the our front runners there at the 96 machine, someone we're used to seeing up front, fighting his way towards P1 as Hale making his way back up through the field after some early troubles.
Yeah, it looks like Dollarhide got a taste of his own medicine, and here's Tyler Deering leading the field right now as Carl Hogg there in the top 5. Having a good run as well. Looks like the track is 2 lanes right now as the caution is out. You can run the top or the bottom. Not sure. Oh, there you go. Got one hung up there. See what happened. Oh. Okay. Yeah. NDF. Wild patch there in 3 and 4. Here we go. See if Deering can hold the lead as we go in the restart zone. Will Monroe right up Trailer Park Jones' back as Carl Hogg. Some of these restarts are wild, man.
Carl Hogg cranking it down the backstretch, trying to get through 3 and 4. He's able to make some speed on there, but Tyler Deering looking in his rearview mirror, loving what he's seeing with those guys 3 and 4 wide behind him.
Ooh, we are on board the Nighttime Nightmare, ripping the lip, but there is nowhere to go. It's like payday at the liquor store at 5 p.m. The line is 40 people deep, and he's just trying to get to the front.
Yeah, no doubt. As we go on board, Will Monroe, who was towards the front. Looks like something happened with him. He's back here in the gaggle of carts as he's watching Hale and Showalter battle it out as they're going to take the high line. He's going to take the middle, and Showalter gets the run.
Monroe showing no mercy right now. He's banging off the rear bumper of Bobby Showtime. These guys need to line up and try to make some speed if they're going to catch the front runners. Tyler Deering goes down back to second right now. And, man, look at this racing back for, like, not even in the pay window.
No, Coleman Dollarhide snuck in there, Jay-Z, but don't look now. Showalter is lurking there in that third position.
Yeah, the old money out front, right? The old had the wheat penny out there leading. Old Dollarhide out there, but he gets shuffled back. He connects with Deering, almost puts through the infield. Deering hangs on to third for the time being. We'll see if he can recover his old Showtime. Sure as the sun rises in the east, ends up out front again here on the short track.
Injury Hill's been shipped over that berm a couple times here tonight as Showalter now leading this field. Dollar Menu Dollarhide in second, now third. Mark that as Tyler Deering makes the run there on the inside berm. He's going to take the pass. We're starting to see that Chili Bowl line come into play here too. They're de-wedging the carts either at the very high line or at the very bottom.
Yeah, a couple bottom bitches out there right now, but woo, sliding across the nose right there is Tyler Deering. Deering able to get that thing back out front, get some clean air on the nose, and it's handling good again. Bobby Showtime beating a back bumper off of Dollarhide right now, trying to get back on that second spot.
Coleman leads as we got Jay Kupala around on the back stretch. He's going to get it straightened back out. Dollarhide leading here. Deering leading as he's going to hit some lap traffic, and that's the best part of this racetrack.
Yeah, you'll run into a hornet's nest real quick. We got all sorts of different skill levels out here, especially in the Busch Series. But who does have that skill is Bobby Showtime. A mistake doesn't take long as we go to Vince Belch up in the booth.
Out on the track right now, you've got the elder statesman of the Dollarhide duo, Coleman Dollarhide in that familiar number 7. Now look, if Carson is a Roman candle, Coleman's a stovetop simmer. He's cool, calculated, and doesn't waste a move out there. Coleman started 8th and is currently 2nd. If he can hold off Robert Showalter and march up to Tyler Deering's bumper, he will have a shot at the win. Coleman has had a great season so far. He is yet to finish outside the top 5. He's also been a key influence behind Carson's success, and maybe a bit of a damage control officer too. It's kind of a family act. One stirs the pot, the other puts the lid back on. But right now, one thing is for sure. Old man is sticking it to the young blood tonight.
Well, thanks for that race break, Vince, as we're watching this lap traffic just wreak havoc on these guys as they're trying to navigate through it, as Tyler Deering is trying to pass these other 3 carts. They're not holding them up as much as they're holding up the guys behind them.
Yeah,
these guys are pretty lined up right now. They're trying to make some hay, but Tyler Deering able to clear lap traffic right now. He's got clear sailing in front of him as we get our 5 to go caution. That's going to re-rack them and bunch everybody right back up, ready for 5 laps more of excitement.
No bumper is safe, including our leader, Tyler Deerings, who's getting ready to go back to the restart zone. And see how this shakes out. We saw some 3-wide action before, but I don't know what's going to happen here in this restart.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to stay on the high side and have that right rear in the good stuff here, but Deering does take the bottom. Probably the smart approach, but we got the Nighttime Nightmare on the outside, hoping to hang it high, wide, and handsome and maybe get P1 coming off at 2. Doesn't look like this old man Dollarhide causes a chain reaction. Young Dollarhide and Hale caught up in it, unfortunately, but Deering still trying to fight off the Nighttime Nightmare as we have 4 to go.
Watch out, lurking in the shadows. It's the Nighttime Nightmare. Even during the day, he's fast, and that's a problem for the field as Campolonia is going to weasel his way into the lead here.
Yeah, another Bobby Showtime machine coming in second. That's the man himself. They're trying to take the top 2 spots on the podium, and they do right now as Tyler Deering goes back to 3rd.
Handful of laps to go, and Campolonia's in the lead. He didn't lead at all in this race, and this restart really just broke for him and opened the front of the field.
Yeah, he's got Nighttime Nightmare. Oh, Bobby Showtime goes off. That opens the door for Tyler Deering to break up the Showtime bunch.
Checker flag in the air. Let's go down and talk to Zach Campolonia, your winner tonight in the Busch Series feature.
Yeah, Zach, your winner down here in the Busch Series. You had started off mid-pack, and I think you just avoided the hiccup and you really just passed it. I don't know about the morning. I got fucking up the top. Just trying to get the rhythm of the track. The track transition drastically from when it first came out to today. I thought the outside was going to be lane B, and obviously it wasn't. And about halfway through, I just started kicking them off. And I knew once I got there, I could make some moves. Thanks, Joey, Colby, CTM Custom Cabinets, Future Chemical, Racing Garage Door, Hydrotech Transmission, and everybody up here. Now, what are you going to do with our new series? You're going to do the hair, maybe some routine? I haven't decided quite yet. We'll see. I mean, it looks like I can do it. Yeah, I can pull off any color. So I don't know. Next time you might see me with different hairdos. You're gonna try to pull off any color of the hair, and definitely pull off with the winner of the Busch Series. How about it? Our ecstatic crowd for Zach Campolongo. How about it, Darren? Here, second place. Here with the DQ Card Series. How much of this do you owe to Aaron Hopper?
A lot of it. He's been really helpful in getting this thing better. I started this whole deal just trying to learn. I definitely struggled for the longest time, but Aaron's been really helpful in getting me to this point. It's been a blast, really.
Now, will it make you feel like less of a man if your teammate Luke goes out here and wins you or second?
I hope he wins by second. It's fantastic. You can't not like that guy. I mean, you got to root for him. So go win this one.
He's got to do some more over there. So Tyler Deering, second place here in the DQ Card Series. Folks up here had to polish a whole Busch latte down there. Well, did you ever thought about this shipping Zach there for wins?
No, I was just kind of trying to play defense for him. I don't know what happened on that one restart. We were second to Carson. Yeah, we were second to Carson and we went back to like ninth. I was like, wow. So I kind of knew how that was going to be. Hopefully I helped him for a win and we'll take it out of the camp.
Well, glad to see you out here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Robert, third place, which is that.
SRI Pull Award surprise goes to Robert Showalter once again for tonight's Net Positive Pool Services Cup Series feature. And the invert once again was 4, so that'll put him 4th. It's going to put No Money Brandon Hughes on the front row with Jeremy Murphy.
Row number 2, Bobby Showtime and Jimmy Allen.
Hidalgo Alfredo and Kyle Beatty on that SKE.
Dean Wyrick and Richard Reeves are going to try to rip Minnie Bristol in the dirt.
Boy. Tony RC and Father Time.
Net Positive Pool Services Cup Series. This series is growing, even though the numbers don't show it, but we're starting to get a lot of guys that are purchasing the Ghost engines. Last race here, we talked about on the pre-race show, Alfredo Hidalgo won the last time we were on this track, so he's excited to get back in this thing and give it a shot. As Curtis Markham going to have to end his night before it was going to begin. He's having a clutch issue, so that's terrible for him, but we'll have an onboard camera with Jeremy Murphy as he's starting on the front row. Brendan No Money Uses picked the top lane, so we'll see how that works out for him.
We saw top lane be fast in the previous race. Let's see if he's got it again. We're under green, a little more calm, little fewer carts, but we still go 3 wide for the lead on lap number 1. This is a good way to lose it.
Yeah, Hughes able to stick that right in the top, but he throws it over the berm all on his own. Still hanging out. The Murphy trying to rip the bottom. Little bit of a slide job. Opens up the inside lane, and Bobby Showtime makes his way through. The old Wiley Vet's back at it again.
He's had plenty of laps here earlier in the night. We got a caution, one around in turn number 4.
71 and Tony RC around. Not really sure what happened there. Looks like there was some sort of contact. All right. The push of shame for the 71 machine. Tough break for them. I'll put us in the restart zone. Showalter and No Money Use with Jimmy Allen and Jeremy Murphy in the second row. And Jimmy Allen Jr., for some reason, when we come to the short track, is just an ace here.
Some people got it,
Yeah.
some people don't. We're jammed up on the start. Showtime moves around.
No. Showalter's bumper was destroyed there, and that is a rule in DNQ. You got to have that bumper attached. So that's going to be a bad break for him if it flies up.
With this rough and tumble short track racing, that can happen. Got to have them things checklisted and bolted in there tight, though having the bumper hanging loose and free does tend to free up that go-kart and help that inside tire carry when you go to make the turn, as Hughes is still hanging on. So we're on board with Jeremy Murphy, putting on a great show here in Net Positive Pool Services Short Track Racing Cup Series at Mini Bristol.
Brendan No Money Use runs a micro here all the time and has yet to win at Millbridge, but he decided to get in the DNQ cart here, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, Jeremy Murphy just cooling his tires down, trying to get another, shot at the leader right now. He's a guy with a ton of laps. He's run good here in his DNQ career. I think what he's done is watch the previous race and saw what happened with Campolonia and Bobby Showtime would passing with like 3 to go for the win. I think he's plotting the same thing here in this cup race.
Yeah, I think he's watching Hughes out front here, and Jimmy Allen. Hughes is really throwing it in there. A huge moment of yaw right there at corner center, but he straightens out the wheel really quick and was getting a good drive off. But I think Jeremy Murphy is starting to learn, and running him down is Jimmy Allen and Bobby Showtime there are going at it for the 3rd spot.
Yeah, one driver I thought would be more powerful here would be Alfredo Hidalgo, considering his history, but we talked earlier, it's tough to come here and dominate like that, and you're on board with Jeremy Murphy as he gets hung up with Showalter on that bumper, and there it goes. That is no bueno for Robert Showalter. That's going to be a black flag for him. He's going to be done for the night. Once we get a caution, that cannot stick up like that.
Oh, no. That is part of the DNQ safety initiative. We cannot let that go on.
Yeah, and there's the caution for that bumper, and if he can reattach it, great. But right now, you got to have a rear bumper. It's in the rule book. So he's going to work on it, but it'll be to no avail. He will not be able to fix that. And that'll be the end of that night for him, which really stinks. Oh, my. How can I make this look like it's attached? He's had a rough stretch, man. He went airborne last race at the Darlington race, and now tonight he's going to have to retire early. Here we go, back on the restart. I mean, these 3 guys have been the show right now. It's been Allen, Murphy, and Hughes, and these guys have been battling it out.
Yeah, Hidalgo, the restart gets him back up there. He quickly falls off unless he wrecks the field in front of him first. Then he can get himself up there. But the 18 go-kart's trying to hang on. Maybe he's learning a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two, kind of like a Nationwide commercial here. But Jimmy Allen, he's not done yet. He's on the search for P1.
Brendan's really good all race long. He saved his tires too. Jimmy Allen trying to hunt down, get some clean air. You see him go out of line when they get to the corner, try to get some downforce on the nose of that machine. Every pound counts here at Baby Bristol.
Hughes a leader, Allen second, Murphy in third. These guys are gooch to gooch as Allen tries to make the move underneath him, and that's going to open the door for Murphy, who's now going to try to make a move for the lead. Let's listen in to the DNQ Racing Network as they have the call of the race.
We are back at the bridge on the DRN Racing Network. Lap 16 in the books, and we've got a battle brewing. The mini dirt Bristol-style track never disappoints. Brandon No Money Hughes is out front, wheeling the number 5 machine owned by Robert Showalter. Showalter's out after an early incident, but his cart is still up front. And Barney, the heat's getting turned up behind him.
Sure is. Eli Jimmy Allen Jr., the short track ace in this DNQ Net Positive Cup Series, is stalking that rear bumper like a hawk. He won the Darlington layout race, and if there's a man who knows how to get elbows up on a tight track, it's Allen.
And don't count out Jeremy Murphy, Busch Series champion, third in line. And oh, by the way, he's closing. They're stacked up tighter than a McDonald's drive-thru at lunchtime. We've got ourselves a 3-horse fight, and they are absolutely glued together.
Lap after lap, Hughes is holding the bottom. Allen's giving him the old chrome horn into turn 3. He gave him a push at lap 17, and they're all still nose to tail. But here comes Alfredo Hidalgo, watching patiently in fourth. Don't forget, he won the All-Star race right here last season.
Lap 19, and the racing lines are changing. Allen searching, Murphy probing. They're trying to find grip. Hughes just keeps digging, holding that bottom line.
Allen right on the bumper. He is almost inside of Hughes. There it is. A wide arc by Allen. Dives low under Hughes out of turn 2. They're side by side.
And he hits the berm. Allen hits the berm, slides up the track, loses the momentum.
Now here comes Murphy. He dives to the outside into turn 1, trying to take away that air on the quarter panel.
And there's contact. Murphy gives Allen the bumper in turn 3. Hughes is skating away now with a slight cushion. Brandon No Money Hughes looking for his first win in the Cup Series. This would be huge for the Millbridge underdog.
Allen keeps closing lap after lap. He's within a bumper, but nothing's working. The number 71's thrown every move in the book. It's like trying to unlock your ex's phone with every password you remember. Nothing's clicking.
And that might be the play. Barney Allen's biding his time, looking for the 5-to-go caution where it all resets and he gets one more shot.
And there it is. Lap 29 complete. Caution's out. The yellow flies just as we hit that magic number. 5 laps to settle this showdown at the Millbridge Short Track.
Folks, don't move a muscle. The gloves are about to come off in a moment. Hughes, Allen, Murphy, all coming back together under caution.
We'll see if Brandon No Money Hughes can hold off the guys he's been holding up this whole time. And here we go, green flag. He was hanging on by his straws. Jimmy Allen has a run to the outside. Can he make the pass? And look at Alfredo Hidalgo.
Hidalgo goes to the bottom. He tries to make it 3 wide for the lead. Can't quite do it. He slots up into the podium spot, though. But the battle right now is for the lead. Jimmy Allen trying to take it over, but can't quite get it. That leaves the door open. Now he's going to fall back to the 3rd spot.
Here comes a run from Allen. Can he make the run with only a few laps left from the outside?
Ooh, doesn't look like it. Here comes Jeremy Murphy in the Takis machine trying to get back up on the podium. He gets into the 2nd spot, but right now our leader is looking back, watching these guys fight, loving every single minute of it.
Brandon No Money Hughes, after years of trying at Millbridge Speedway to win a feature, is looking like he may have a shot at it as a white flag is out for Brandon No Money Hughes.
Down the back straightaway, Murphy and Allen still going at it. 3 wide, Hidalgo trying to make his name known. He chick hands everyone out of the way. It's a race to 2nd. That's Allen, Murphy, and I think Hidalgo ended up 4th place there. Congratulations to Mr. Hughes on his fat W here at Mini Millbridge tonight.
Down here with your winner, Brandon No Money Hughes. Brandon, you drove a good race, but I didn't see nobody block like that since Talladega 2005.
Well, we're just trying to hang on to it and not completely wreck ourselves. Everyone else, I got into Shoei there. We kind of got turned a little bit more bad for ripping your bumper off and getting caught.
Well, how does it feel? You finally made it to the DNQ win column. Just probably a few short 20 away from catching your
Oh, yeah, it's him now. We got to catch him. No, it's good to win it, but we want to get one in the micro, hopefully here shortly.
Well, yeah, Let's just start. Brandon Hughes, no money. Winner here in DNQ. And when he sees the payout of this, he'll realize he probably still has no money. The question everybody wants to know is why you didn't just wreck no money and move him out of the way.
Bobby's been good to me. That's his car. I would have done it to anybody. It didn't matter who it was up there. So just try to do it the right way and have a good time racing with everyone. I wish the top would have came in a little bit better than it did. But other than that, it was all good. It was a fun race. Appreciate Jeremy and Ashley for letting us do this and tear up their nice racetrack. We're running shorter nice racetrack, so I appreciate everybody.
That's not like our second. That's second.
If your second name's money, I guess you're a winner. So, I don't know what the hell I am.
Well,
do you have anything you want to
least
say?
amount of money.
Exactly.
Second place. Jeremy Murphy finishes in third. Got a good battle there for that top spot between you three.
Yeah, second loser, I guess, and the first loser going to get nothing, second loser either. So, no, it's a great race, great clean race for the most part. We expected a short track, right? I believe we could have put each other out quite a few times.
We all got Showalter's truck, so I guess y'all did the job on it.
Yeah, at least one thing went right tonight.
There you go. Jeremy Murphy, third place finish. He's a stack.
1ZT's Dash Series SRI pole goes to Zach Campolonia, the Nighttime Nightmare, and as the sun goes down, he's only going to get faster, and he's already won a race here tonight. He'll start fourth, which was the universal invert for tonight's race, and I'll put Stephen Talges and Casey Meyer in the front row.
For number 2, Nighttime Nightmare and Joel Farlow.
Roger Diebold and Nick Davignon in the 03.
Panny Sniffer and Brian Shaw on the next row.
Christian Breyer and Neil Donahue.
James Creek and Tucker Nauman in the 02.
Tanner Nauman and David Hutchins in the 69. Nice. Round out your field for tonight's event. Casey Meyer wants an Oscar Mayer Wiener, and he is starting second. He has an in-car camera. So, I mean, Roger Diebold in that 38, that machine, sponsors wanted. That guy, for some reason, is very fast at the short track. Maybe he has too much camber in the right front, and it works for him as we go green. You never know. People are reluctant to change their setups, so sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. Maybe that's it as we go green. And this series, once again, the introductory series, as you can tell by what you're seeing right now on your camera, on your screen at home. But man, just put on some great racing. Got the small tires all the way around on this thing, and almost no stagger. You got to make your own stagger in these karts, and you'll see them run the high line here tonight on the short track.
Yeah, they're up there right on the cush. They're like getting it done right now. Battles are all over the track. You know, what we're watching here is the most exciting racing in America.
Names are made here. Names like Diebold, names like Meyer, names like Zach Campolona. He's waking up towards the front. He's coming out of that coffin. Sun's down. Nighttime is the right time. His 69 machine is trying to hold off 23. It's a hornet's nest back there for about fifth on back.
Yeah, you really got to put yourself in the driver's viewpoint, right? So you got to think, Zach, he sleeps upside down, and it's really hot during the day. So he's got to find a really cool, dark place to hang himself upside down for a couple hours. And then he wakes up when the sun starts going down. He comes over here and runs DNQ. So that's pretty hard. You got to be pretty athletic to sleep in the heat like that.
Yeah, that thing's shoving the nose worse than Tony Montana right now, though. He's going to have to let some air out of that thing on a caution or something. It ain't good. As we watch Talges just run around this track. That thing is ripping the bottom, gets a good run off of two, and takes a look back just to see who his closest competitor is. No need to. He's got all the clean air on that nose, just cutting laps.
Yeah, I want to send our thoughts out to Dan Marak, who is battling cancer right now, who owns that kart and usually would be driving it. Stephen Talge is doing his best for him in that thing tonight as we're on board. Casey Meyer, who's running the middle in 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. He's going to go ahead and tickle the midsection there. Kind of a crossover move there, Jay-Z. He's cutting through the center.
Yeah, you watch his hands work there. He gets the hefty hand of wheel to the left there, gets it to cut, and then tries to chase it back across the track, where if he runs that middle higher line, a little less scrub brought in through the steering wheel, a little less steering angle, but it's not making lap time either way right now, as Tatujas is absolutely running away with this right now. Gets that nose pointed nice and clean and a good drive off with minimal scrub. Diebold not too bad either, and Meyer right there trying to hold off the Nightmare.
So what's pretty cool for DNQ, we're going to come up and talk about this soon. We're going to have some cups for whoever gets the most points scored at each track layout. We got to find out some cool names for them. One might be the Nup Cup, so we're going to figure out how we name those things and what they actually become. As people like Roger Diebold, he scores the most points on the short track for the 3 races we do it. He'll earn that cup, and it'll be something cool for the drivers and teams as the traffic is out of hand. Looks like the Belt Parkway at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, the short one will definitely be the Clements Cup, that's for sure. There's no way to get around that one.
Yeah, absolutely. As Diebold and Tal just trying to make their way through this lap traffic, but look out behind them. It's nighttime is the right time for the Nighttime Nightmare, as he has now made the pass on Casey Meyer. Let's listen in to the DNQ Racing Network, who has the call of the race to the 5 to go caution.
We're green here on the short track at Millbridge Speedway for the DNQ1ZT's Dash Series, and it's Steve Totches diving into turn 1 with Roger Diebold. Zach Campalonga, they call him the Nighttime Nightmare, lurking ominously in third.
Trouble right in front of me. Casey Meyer gets the rear end dancing on entry to turn 3. Half a spin, throws the hands up, but keeps it going. That kart was sideways enough to scare the whole field, but no caution. We stay green. Meyer's going to have to hustle to regain ground. Leaders single file now as Totches hugs the bottom. Diebold just a kart length back. Campalonga lurking in the shadows. This trio's got smoke on their shoes and blood in their eyes. That bottom groove is glue right now, but the high side's flirting with grip. One mistake, and it's game over.
Front straightaway they come, still locked in formation. Diebold is driving a whale of a race. This isn't a guy we usually see in the top 3, but tonight he's sharper than a barber's blade. Totches is in control, but every time they hit traffic, it's like threading a needle at 60 miles per hour.
Back to me in 1 and 2, and the pack starting to stretch. Campalonga is showing patience, not something we say often. He's lurking just behind Diebold, using every inch of racetrack to find an opening. They're slicing past lapped karts now like it's a karting version of Frogger. And one wrong move could take out all 3.
And look what's ahead. Oh, my word. One of the back markers has lost the front of their kart. Looks like a full-blown modified out here. No nose, no shame, just hanging on, and it's right in the groove. Leaders bearing down. This is going to get interesting. Can't even call that a kart anymore, Eli. Looks like a school project held together by hope and zip ties. And up ahead, Brian Shaw and that ghost-looking kart are battling for 20th like it's for a championship. They are right in the leader's path.
And those leaders are catching them fast. Totches isn't flinching. Totches and the Dan Rack machine looking good tonight. Diebold still stalking 2 to 3 kart lengths back. Campalonga's running a little higher now, possibly prepping for a late race flyer, but traffic's going to dictate this one.
They're in 1 and 2 again, and here we go. The track's about to bottleneck. Shaw and that chopped up kart are too wide right in front of the top 3. This is going to get dicey, folks.
And Totches has caught him. Right behind Shaw in the DIY disaster. They are side by side like it's the last lap at Daytona. Diebold's boxed in. Campalonga looking high.
Totches with a bold move, drops it to the apron like a man late to a first date, threads the needle under the lap traffic. He clears them both. What a gutsy move. And the yellow is out. 5 to go, and we're about to throw this whole thing into chaos. Totches leads, but Diebold and Campalonga are right there. Strap in, folks. It's about to get nasty.
There it is, our 5 to go caution. Zach Campalonga's on the outside, man. Don't sleep on that outside.
That's not the first time tonight that he's chosen the outside lane, and he's going to try to make it work again, but Couch is just too strong firing off. That puts Campalonga in a bad spot. 2, 3, 4 guys go underneath him. Like, the outside lane was not the right lane to choose on a restart. Everybody else take note of that.
Sent for off the racetrack with Joel Farlow as well. Somebody must have garlic in their pocket or something, because they're stopping him in this feature. Is Diebold having a great race? We touched on it earlier. Having a good run. Towage is in the lead. Like anybody to touch him as we only have a few laps to go.
Diebold trying to make a race out of it here. Again, kind of watching how Oh, the 69 car, way up over the berm, doing his own thing there. Gets back in line, loses a couple of spots, but Tatujas, he is not running away with it anymore. Diebold putting on a little bit of pressure. I'm sure the 63 car knows he's there.
Towns is going to take the victory as Diebold got to him, but couldn't make the pass. Go down to victory lane.
You get it anyway. Alrighty, here we go.
Steven down here, winner. Covered me and you. Got a nice bush latte bath. Well, you led 35 laps. Could have been easier than that.
Finally, in the 63.
That's it. He said he only had 2 words. He's got to go run another one. Steven, winner here.
Have him talk.
Here is the Dash Secrets.
Get it out there or no?
So since Steven won't talk, we have a backup interview here. Who have we called from the bullpen?
Hey, so when your driver can't talk, I guess they'll put the crew chief in. Steve did a really good job tonight. He wanted to dedicate the race to Dan Marak. Dan's sick, that's why he's not here tonight. So we might not see Dan back this year, hoping. So it was a really good deal to put his cart in victory lane. And for the record, I've been telling him for 3 weeks, put fucking gear in it. And that's what we did in one.
Oh, yeah, we're on the live mic. Come on.
Whatever. It's
Oh, well.
we're in North Carolina. Come on.
Well, there's your winner interview.
Yeah.
Well, Roger, second place. You had something there when they were in lap traffic. I don't think you had anything for him.
Man, no, he's quick. He kept looking back for me, and I said, buddy, you don't need to look back. I ain't catching you. I mean, I felt like I had it in 3 and 4, but he's doing something in 1 and 2 completely different, and we're just being able to stretch it out like that. But, man, it's crazy. When I have somebody else work on the car, I'm way faster. I try to work it on myself, and I no top 5, so.
So what does that say about you as a human being?
And I need to let somebody else do it instead of me. I ain't got it.
So he basically said he sucks. He can't work on starting race second. Second place for Roger.
Here we go.
Meyer here in third. What kind of different spell, Harry Potter, could you have put on there to make it up a victory lane?
I could have done it better. I could have drove better in 1 and 2. And I felt like I was 3 and 4. I felt fine.
Well, third place, good run, putting on the sorting hat. He has been banished to the text shed. That is his Harry Potter rights.
Somebody's on the front row. Don't have their graphic up there. But they ran an 11.645. Whoever's starting 4th, that's the person that got the pole. Rib Shack and Dustin Dunn will be on the front row after the invert.
The guy who actually started on the pole, it's either...
It was Moonhead.
It was Moonhead? Yeah, okay.
Moonhead. Damian Jenks and Hoffner.
Yeah. Justin Deal and Joe Hennessy.
Eric Yost and Billy Monroe's back.
Stephen Herring, not Drew Herring. Dick Dixon.
Good for him.
And Joey Mack.
Pro Cup. The heavier drivers got to weigh 200 pounds as a driver to run this series. And let me tell you, man, we have an interesting group here in Pro Cup. Travis Moonhead Brown, really fast today.
So yeah, I was down there in the pits earlier eating a hot dog on some white bread with him, and he had just the biggest smile on his face. He said this thing is cutting good. He loves the short tracks. He's rubbing fenders. Rib Shack's got an in-car camera. He's starting on the front row. I would look for some really good battles around him tonight.
Oh, yeah. As we're green here, Dunn trying to fight back on the outside of Professor Clutchworks. Some of these big boys probably running 3 discs to make sure they got that grip right as Dunn goes down the inside. Old Rib Shack came into the scene in D&Q with some speed, nearly getting a couple of wins, and last season kind of faded out a little bit. Didn't really have the success we were looking for, but he's starting to put it back together as we approach the middle part of the season here. As he falls back to 4th, but again, showing some speed as a bunch of people go around.
Dick Dixon about flipped there as Casey Heschel got turned around as Moonhead makes the move to the inside of the 46 machine as he is going to run into the second position. That puts Dustin Dunn in the lead. Is Moonhead getting after it here? Let's take a look at that replay.
Whoa.
Casey Heschel just got annihilated there. Whoa.
Yeah, these little incidents are a little bit scarier in this class just because of the extra momentum on board.
And as we look at it from Joe Henning's in-cart camera, wow, good reactions. Great reactions. Here we go. Looks like Moonhead up to the second position. Damian Jenks there. He's kind of clipping the bottom there, Jay-Z. A little wild for them.
Yeah, maybe that top's getting run off from the classes before earlier this evening, and the bottom's the way to go. The left front, a little bit of moisture, help the cart jack. Maybe get a little grip there and rotate around that left front. But sometimes people just haven't figured out to run that high line yet. It's monkey see, monkey do in some of these classes with the amateurs that are coming off of a bad hangover. You never know kind of what you're going to get. As we saw a couple of examples of really early entry there as we come on board with Alex Kirk. Old rib shack here on the inside of Dunn going into 3. Can he complete that move? He can. Sets his sights on Moonhead out in front.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got a bunch of different driving styles and experience levels. And Bill, you see it here. Ribshack ran that high line, cuts down back underneath Dunn.
Yeah, he's using that momentum. Coming down off the banking, grab a handful of gravity, get a little extra speed down the front stretch. And that thing can work when you're 200 plus pounds in these go-karts, especially with a little bit lower horsepower, as Dustin Dunn just showing that thing cut right now too.
As they battle, it's just letting the leader run away from him. Moonhead's enjoying a nice Monday evening drive here because Ribshack and Dunn just will not hook up and push. I know the straightaways are short, but pushing each other as we're Rib.
Let's set it down to Matt Yoakum, who's going to talk about Alex Kirk.
Down here in third, it's Alex Ribshack Kirk wheeling that 18 machine. And folks, if there's a driver whose results don't tell the whole story, it's this guy. He's been knocking on the door all season long, and this might just be the night he finally kicks it down. Now, over the offseason, Kirk didn't just sit around and wait for speed. He went to work. New components, testing laps, setup experimentation. This team has turned every knob, literally and metaphorically. But let's be honest, that plan did not include any kind of cardio regimen. You won't see a treadmill in his trailer, just a few boxes of donuts and a wrench. But results speak louder than waistlines, and Kirk's got that cart dialed. Smooth on entry, straight off the corner. He's right there with a shot tonight. If the front two slip, don't be surprised if he sneaks up and steals one. The Pennsylvania native is looking to break through tonight, and he might just do it.
Want to thank Matt Yoakum for that update, or Matt Y, as we should say. And Ribshack just putting in the work, not the cardio work, as Matt talked about there, but the actual physical work and mechanics.
This thing. Moonhead still out front, cutting laps. I mean, looking good. He's really consistent tonight, which is a surprise. Because
classic.
That's a right rear. Right rear's off somebody's car.
Casey Heschel pulling off the track. He had some damage, so I wonder if it is a product of that damage. Usually their stuff's pretty good. If that was loose, it probably would have flown off earlier in the feature, but it is now an official DNQ event.
Yeah.
Puts us in the restart zone. Moonhead, Dustin Dunn, Ribshack, and Damian Jenks. Kind of the top four in the series here as we head into one. And this series is so much fun to watch the comers and goers, the people who are good at the short track, the Darlington layout, the big track. It's definitely a challenge this year to win the championship.
Yeah, that's DNQ equality.
Do we dare? Have we just branded DEQ? Is that a thing we have now?
Possibly, yes. I didn't even know we had to have it. I didn't even know we were lacking it to go on board Alex Kirk.
That's your privilege showing there, Bill. That's a problem.
It must be. I just figured everybody that didn't matter who they were, they could come race, but apparently we have to make a big deal out of everything now. for no reason and point out the obvious. Here we go. Moonhead's in his own zip code.
Yeah, obviously Moonhead has got it figured out tonight. He's a diversified his behavior here to be better than everyone else and just absolutely running away with it. Doesn't have that moment of yaw we see with some of these other go-karts. Maybe that aero balance is a little bit more towards the middle of the go-kart, right? Like a ground effect style rather than trying to suck it down at the nose and being sealed off, as they used to say. But Moonhead absolutely ripping here at Mini Millbridge.
Interesting to see Teasley up towards the front here in that 21 Busch Light machine. He's doing a great job as well. He crossed the finish line first at one of the earlier races this season. Unfortunately, just failed tech as we go on board with Joe Henning, who is enjoying a middle-of-the-track run here, and he's about mid-pack.
Yeah, showing the front wheels, absolutely shove it on this thing. You saw what he did there. He jerked it into the corner, had to counter steer right there. You see it again to get that thing to turn at all. So gonna have to go back to the notebook and try a different setup next time we come back here to Mini Millbridge. But Moonhead still all out front, making it look easy.
There it is, our 5 to go caution here. We'll see what Moonhead can do if he can hold off the rest of these guys on this restart. And he's trying to win his first DNQ race, so the nerves have got to be piling up. So we'll see how that goes for him. As we're going to have the choose cone out, he's going to pick the bottom. Dustin Dunn takes the top. And everybody else who knows what's about to happen takes the bottom. Because you know, on these restarts, somebody's going to get canned. So I know in Rib Shack's mind, he's like, all right, it's on, dude. You're getting shoved. And the guys up top are just going to have to deal with it. So see if Moonhead gets the jump here as we go back green.
Rib Shack giving him everything he's got right now. They're able to make it stick somehow on the bottom. Dustin Dunn gets the right rear over the curb, but can still hang on. God, what a battle.
Colin Hefner goes around to the back of the field as Rib Shack skates away with the second position. Dunn off the racetrack with Jenks and Teasley as they're battling it out. And here comes Joe Henning, the All-Star Race winner from this past year.
Ex-teammates of Teasley getting into the side of Dunn. Yeah, must have been some bad blood there. Saw some hands in the air as we go back to our leaders. Old Moonhead still running away from Rib Shack like his life depended on it.
2 laps to go. Can Rib Shack close the gap to Moonhead?
Moonhead's had a really good run so far. He's got 1 more lap to go. It doesn't look like Rib Shack's going to be able to get there. Moonhead might take a DNQ victory home here tonight. He's going to take the checker flag.
And then we threw his ass out. The win goes to Rib Shack after he failed RPM. Tough break for Moonhead. We'll go down and listen to his interview either way.
Finally, a DQ winner here at Millbridge. Trying to be as limber as ever, Travis Moonhead Brown. Hell yeah. Look at that. Come on over here. Well, Travis, after years of cutting a rug on Twitch, after years of revelry warnings in Wilkesboro, after years of getting all-star and destroying cars at Hickory and finishing 12th in Carolina Pro, was it all worth it to this moment?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Big thanks to Hodges for letting me run it. Vendors, Power Kevin, I don't want to forget anybody. I've got like 3 sponsors on there, still in tears, so big thanks to them. Yeah, what more can I say? We came out here and we got it done. I think how many laps did I lead? I led most of them, I think, so that's pretty cool. So guess we'll go to the Waffle House and maybe storage, see if we can't catch something.
That's it. Travis Moonhead Brown, finally a winner here in D&Q.
Do any justice, please.
Alex ends up second. The great partners at Racing Electronics had to come out here, but the Cinderella story out here. We didn't talk about it.
Nothing speaks more than your Hollywood redneck winning a race. No, I'm happy for him. Raced a long time with him. We've been through the same shit. Keep getting run over, keep getting just cleaned out on stuff. He's quick, happy for him, happy for the whole group. Really good night for us all the way around. Mystery Performance, Race Electronics, Plus Power, everybody at our group, Zach, Christian, everybody coming out, just had a blast. And glad to finally have to do one of these interviews for something. Yeah, it just took me to come out. I'll take a little joy back. Thank you. Okay. Well, Cameron by God Pack willed the cross anchor special to a third place finish. It's a little bit different than the high bank she used to.
I'm not quite sure what to do with my hands right now. I don't know. I've never been in this situation before.
Are you sure of that? Have you ever finished on podium before? Once. Since junior 2? Once. Your local Maxxis amateur ends up here in third place in the Brad McElrath machine.
Super heavy amateur.
Hey, don't worry. He's learned all the lessons Hunter Weaver's told him to end up right here. God almighty, what is it?
Kyle Beatty will be on the pole for the SKE USAC Series feature. He will share the front row, David Crops and Mickey Roop will be on the front row. Good luck.
Do we have? I mean, is one guy on top and one guy
on the Beatty.
Holzbauer by himself?
Yeah, I think so. When you watch this at home later on, the graphics were destroyed on that one part. So here are all the carts, and that's where they're starting. And this is a D&Q race, so who really cares? These carts on the short track, though, the USAC Series carts on the short track, you got to be careful with how you race because of these open fenders. They're kind of like the modifieds.
Yeah. You can catch a wheel. Sorry, you can catch a wheel. You can flip over here. The cars are a little heavier too. They don't turn quite as well because the roll cage bolted on top of the frames were good to go here. And that familiar Roop. Oh, David Crops gets absolutely sent. Estatujas on the inside, 3 wide. A little touch of that right front, and he has to settle back for 4th place.
Yeah, there's going to be a cop waiting to arrest somebody for a hate crime there. That was pretty damn bad to send the only black guy in the field out there.
It's a tough break for Crop. The old crop hop there off of turn 2.
Yeah.
Tough for him as Carson Dollarhide in his USAC debut has gotten himself to the lead here. And he's got Matt Holzbauer, who is really good at the old short track. If you remember, Bill, we used to run that short track by Victory Lane. He was so good at that track, and it's showing again tonight. He likes the short track.
Yeah, he's got it hooked up. He knows how to work that throttle and get that thing to cut through the middle, but still have that good drive off. And, God, Dollarhide making that thing work. He's had more laps than anybody else on this racetrack tonight. You got to wonder if that's paying off.
I'd like to think so, but Holzbauer is fighting that thing, man. It will not turn, it will not drive, it will not do anything he's trying to tell it to do right now. And that SKE machine of Beto, you're normally seeing him up front, but he's struggling tonight as well with Dollarhide putting hurting on the field.
One thing that I think has really changed up the series this year is the open gear rule. So you basically have a chance to run whatever gearing you want now here in D&Q, which promotes passing, it promotes different lines running on the racetrack, and I think these guys are still learning these Ghost engines, and they are digitally governed. So they sound like a limited late model sometimes in qualifying, where they're just banging it off the limiter. It sounds like basically they're on the chip. And just listening to some of these guys behind Dollarhide right now, it looks like they missed the gearing tonight.
Yep. So some people stack on too many teeth in the back. You got to remember, it's a ratio, right? So I know mini gears are very popular in oval racing, even some of the sprint racing now, because it allows you to run a really small front driver, but still maintain a ratio that'll let you get down this front straightaway. So especially for these heavier classes like this, it'll allow you to haul your fat ass off the corner, but not be on the chip all the way down the front straightaway. So some of these guys might have just overshot with their front driver and bang on the chip, at the halfway mark at the start finish line, it's just losing lap time, lap after lap.
Yeah, I think that might be the case here tonight as we're watching Towges and Beatty. They become pretty much 2 rivals in this class. And they race each other extremely hard, and they do the same thing on some of the Wednesday night shows where they still run the clone engines at Millbridge.
Yeah, these guys got a lot of laps here. You know, 2 experts at their craft. Getting a little bit strung out right now. Dollarhide making his money tonight, that's for sure. Holzbauer still hanging in there, you know, waiting. Holzbauer, he knows how to race. You know, you got to wonder if he's just saving his tires, you know, making laps. He's not really got anybody behind him trying to, you know, burn his stuff up. So why not just ride? Here comes Kyle Beatty. He's won 1 million of these things. You know, he knows he's got a 5 to go caution. He might just be chilling.
We're trying to make this interesting for you at home. I'm really trying to make this interesting. This is not very fun, not very interesting right now. But there's some lap traffic in front of Carson Dollarhide. Maybe he'll step on his pecker and spin this thing out, and maybe we'll have something to talk about. But right now is a very vanilla race out there right now, as he's just dominating this thing. And if we could fast forward to the 5 to go caution, we would do it. But maybe the lap traffic will screw him up. Let's see what happens. Nope. Nothing.
Oh,
there.
did they touch? Somebody's off. Did they touch?
I don't know what happened there. Try to get out of his way, and here comes David Crops. He's the next victim for this race. Going a lap down, but, you know, Crops still learning his program. He's enjoyed the Ghost engine. He's been really fast at qualifying a couple times this year, as we could pump him up a little bit. And look, Steven Talge is on the same straightaway as the leader.
He is down like a 3.11 second lead now. That's closing a gap. It's like a Formula One race here where nothing's happening. You're just talking about pit strategy at this point. But a little less European, more Marb Red, and less whatever the European equivalent is.
What's that cute thing that Dollarhide's got on the side of his car there with the like angle pieces?
Well, I guarantee you they made the carbon themselves, and they did not steal that from work. Looks like carbon braces.
Yeah, they got a bunch of like mil-spec stainless rivets in there too.
Yeah, you know.
But $3 a rivet.
That thing was not at Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing getting worked on at all. None of the stuff is from their shop. That's how it works here in D&Q. You know, you start seeing wraps that look like race cars, and you're like, somebody got a hold of the truck spare wrap after the season was over. Guilty of that myself a little bit. We had a One Main Financial go-kart there for a little while. Watching this field do a great job. There we go. Oh, we have some action. Holzbauer getting lapped all over Dollarhide. I like it. Holzbauer looks deathly tight. That thing is shallow entry, way up the racetrack, and there it is. I thought it was the 5 to go caution. I think it is. Yeah, it's got to be. They're slowing down.
Holzbauer is happy to have a breather.
Yeah. Thank goodness it's the D&Q 5 to go caution. Wow. Let's bunch these guys back up and see if they can destroy some stuff. All right, here we go. Field entering 3 and 4. Dollarhide smashes the gas. Does he have enough to hold off Beatty, Tauges, and Holzbauer as they head down into 1?
He'd given her hell. He tried to get everything he could off the top side there, just couldn't make it stick. Tauges driving that thing in there. Can't get to Dollarhide's bumper. He's going to do everything that he can to be within striking distance here at the white.
Yeah, it took Beatty a full lap to get around Holzbauer there, so his race is pretty much ruined. He will not have enough time to run down Dollarhide, who's making it look easy out here, beating up on all the old guys as a youngster runs away with it.
Yeah, the dollar menu is hot tonight, you know, kind of like a late night snack. You just hit up the dollar menu, and he's booking on him. Nice card. Good for them to bring it out here to race, as he's going to take the white flag. It's been his night tonight. He must have nailed the gear. These other guys know that they missed it. And he's going to go ahead and take home the win here in the SKE USAC Series feature. Thank goodness that one's over.
Dollarhide, your winner here with the D&Q buggies. How about it, man? That one had to be pretty easy for you.
I wasn't. I about fell out of the seat by lap 20, but don't tell anybody I said that.
Well, at least you might get hydrated here.
Let's go. I really hope I don't get pulled under when I leave here. I've never had beer go over 3 drivers. Yeah. Well, you feel like about the last thing? Yeah, I feel good. I feel a lot better. Okay. Who do I thank you? I want to thank my dad, Boomer Hall, go-kart, Shoei, for all the help he gives us, and all these boys standing right here in this corner. Twitter. All right. Steven, you want to talk this time? Steven, second place. Man, you dominated. Anything you know with all that?
Maybe qualified, so I would have got the gear ratio right. I was hitting the chip on the middle of the straightaway, but I wish I had the net positive Jumbotron on tonight, but it's okay. Jeremy and Ashley, they do a great job on the short tracks. It's awesome. I just wish I would have had qualifying. Then we would have had something. I couldn't gain on them, but like before, this is all for D-Stats. He's getting better, so we'll get him out here as soon as possible.
Steven, second place here with D-Stats. Kyle Beatty, an illustrious third place finish here. Kyle, I know you're trying to get out here to win all this. This is a bump in the road for you, trying to revitalize your career after your corner in college and everything. Yeah, this is a major setback in the household. Not enough Coors Light was consumed in our city. That was the problem. Yeah, a few more juice boxes and Coors Lights, but that's okay. Congratulations to these guys. They did a great job. And we'll be back on the big track and see what we can do out there. Well, don't worry. If we keep turning like this, we're going to call Carson Ellis going to win this one too.
What a night under the lights at the short track. Tight corners, worn-out tempers, and some thrilling wheel-to-wheel battles. We've seen just about everything you can ask for in DNQ racing tonight. Gentlemen, let's break it down before we pack it up.
I gotta tell you, it was a dogfight out there tonight. Brandon, no money, Hughes finally cashing in with that win. Jimmy Allen Jr. throwing every move in the playbook at him. And Zach Campalonga, I mean, the nighttime nightmare just keeps racking up trophies like he's got a punch card.
Hidalgo looked solid. Showalter was a bulldog until that incident. This field is deep and only getting tougher.
And boys, let me tell you, if you like this, we're going back to the big track next. That's right, Millbridge Speedway, high speeds and close competition.
And don't forget, gear strategy, tire wear, and a whole lot of attitude going to matter next time out. Some of these guys will be bringing backup bumpers and maybe even backup friendships, depending on how those sliders go.
We'll see you all for the next chapter. Same track, different layout, same chaos. For Barry Mack, Benai, D-Dubs, and the entire crew, I'm Alan. This has been DNQ at the short track. We'll see you back at the Millbridge Speedway.